So you're hot, aren't you? What's up, fam? It's your boy Demuir here, purveyor of all sounds underground. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel today, where I'll be discussing the topic of the mastering engineers that I use and how it can benefit you based on the things I've learned. But before we jump into things, what I need you to do is to hit subscribe, like, and comment. Give me that SLC. As well, hit the notifications bell to stay in touch with the new videos that we have up and coming. So point number one, each of the three guys I use, and I will put their contacts in the description below, so be sure to check it out. But point number one is that each of these guys have not been afraid to give me solid feedback. I know I've done mastering types of videos before where I've said, you got to create that window of conversation that allows them to step through it and say, here's some feedback for you. But I think naturally these guys are not afraid to say, oh, you need to make some adjustments in this area and then send the pre-master back. So that's one of the most valuable assets of these guys, is that they weren't afraid to give feedback. The other thing I enjoy about the mastering engineers that I use is that it's very obvious to me that they're not using a cookie cutter process. A number of different engineers, mastering engineers, tend to, just to be safe, create a lot of cookie cutter profiles based on a certain amount of tracks or a sound that they believe you, the artist, is going for. And I think that's wrong. They really should be developing an approach that is more relationship based. There's a certain amount of connectivity there, and each of my engineers know the sound that I'm going for, and they understand it succinctly to the point where they try to emulate that sound in terms of its authenticity each and every time I send them a pre-master. And that leads me to point number three. I sort of said it in point number two, but they understand my sound. They understand that I'm going for a sound that appreciates the old school with some new school mixing on top of it. And these guys have a serious breadth of knowledge to be able to deliver the analog sort of warm sound that I'm going for. So that is a critical point. They completely understand my sound throughout. And point number four, I love this about the guys that I use, because in today's music, a lot of people are competing with the loudness wars, or trying to make sure the sound sounds so loud and good on something like Apple Music or Spotify. But these guys, they just do not lean automatically to over compressing the music. I hate how over compression sounds for my music specifically. I know there's some genres out there with French touch, they actually use a bit of over compression more musically, and I do enjoy that sound as well. But in terms of what I'm going for, I do not enjoy it firsthand, and these guys understand that dynamics are better than over compression. And point number five, and I think this is one of the most beautiful assets of the guys that I use, whether it's Daniel Dubb or Lad or Damien at Connected Mastering, they have a diverse musical knowledge, meaning that they've done work in heavy metal to jazz to rock to electronic music. They understand what old records sound like, and the challenges that come with creating a nice analog sound versus digital. They always bring that diverse musical knowledge to every project that I engage with them in, and I love having the benefit. So having that sort of diverse background presents itself as advantageous to me, because there's not a lot I need to think about or do to get the sound that I'm looking for in the final master. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the mastering engineers I use and why I use them. I'd be very interested in your thoughts in terms of comments that you can reflect. I usually join in the discussion within 48 hours of posting these videos, and I'd love to just hear what you got to say about it and understand your journey. Now, I will point this out. Although I have my mastering engineer's contacts listed below, I know this is for some people such a coveted secret that they have and they kind of hold it behind a closed door. The bottom line is I'm not afraid to be transparent in this regard because what works for me may not necessarily work for you. I'm just putting forward the things that work for me, and maybe it will help you along in your journey in terms of where you land, and you might even be able to pick up some additional knowledge as a result. So check these guys out. I use each of them for very specific genres or a certain sound I'm going for, but the rest is up to you to explore and learn from. So, much love and respect to you. The conversation does not have to end here. Please join us on my Discord channel and as well as my Patreon, where the community has been vibrant and very supportive, and I'm so happy to see the things that we've been able to accomplish. Mastering is just one of many discussions that we have. Much love and respect to you. Peace.